Yeah, so
I couldn't.
she becomes like the Mystic Mother in
Yeah, that's what she's called, the
Mystic
Mystic Mother.
Force.
Yeah. Is that what she's called, the Mystic Mother?
I always do that too early.
Yeah, the Mystic Mother, I think that's what they title her as. And it's interesting, in Operation Overdrive, you find out that there's an offspring of Rita and Lord Zed.
Yes, that's such a cop-out.
That's not a cop-out.
Because at that point you say that the Zordon purifying them didn't exist. Kind of thing.
But Rita was good, so the child must be good.
No, it's evil.
Oh.
This is a villain.
The villain must have...
And here's the other reason it's a cop-out, okay? The spawn of Rita and Zed. You'd think that'd be a really great villain, right? This thing lasts more than like 3 episodes. This guy should be like the villain of a series, not just like a little mini-series.
Well, tell that to the writing staff.
I did! But then at that point, that was also the... Operation Overdrive was the dreaded Kalash era of Power Rangers, so... Alright, let me divert this really quick. So, you've brought up favorite villains. I'm going to now bring this into the... I'm going to go deep into the Power Rangers questions we got. And I think we've actually answered this on Phantasy Star, but Andrew hasn't been here, so... best heroic advisor in a series. Now, obviously, we're not going to do a Zordon era, because all of us would say Zordon. So I'm going to say post-Zordon era. Who was your favorite advisor character, like, in the Zordon role in those series?
Well, how about you go first while I'm thinking about it?
Oh, so basically the mentor role.
Yes, the mentor role.
Okay.
So, at that point, everything past in space,
Okay.
you can consider.
Then definitely when Tommy became a teacher.
See, I kind of go there, too. I like the fact that he came in as kind of the Zordon character. It made sense to do that, too.
Yes.
The other one that I might consider is, they tried to, or Nickelodeon, when they did Jungle Fury, tried to recreate him, or recreate the advisor role, and had a ranger actually as the advisor.
Wasn't it,
I will compliment Jungle Fury on one thing. We actually got other colors, okay? I know a lot of people don't like Jungle Fury, and I'm not too keen on it either.
God almighty, come on.
But at that point, guys, we had not had a purple ranger. We had not had a solid orange ranger, okay? And so we got those in Jungle Fury, and I'll give it credit for that. But yeah, I'd have to go with Tommy. I like the fact that they brought him in. Him and, actually, my tie would be between him and Anubis Doggy Kruger. And that's just because Doggy is so heavy and so awesome.
Yeah, I do like Doggy Kruger.
Hi, Doggy.
Hi, Doggy. There you go.
And I'll admit, that one of the things that actually leans me towards Doggy Kruger is his debut episode as the Shadow Ranger, where he takes down 100, and they actually have the counter. So he's like, boom, 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 boom. That's a pretty epic moment for Power Rangers, okay? With this, the truest sword in the galaxy, I will right all wrongs. That and his hammy dialogue. I loved a lot of his hammed up dialogue.
Fucking camera.
All this Power Rangers discussion is killing Alex. He can't concentrate.
I can concentrate. There's fucking camera.
It's a 3D game.
Would you like me to get you up there?
I'll get up there just fine, thank you.
Where we're already having some issues now. You know, the Banjo Kazooie expert offers to help. I don't think you need to yell at her like that, Alex, but, you know.
Yeah, well, what are you looking at?
Let's see.
That was my fault just because I got distracted.
Let me detract this also into yet another question. Best Sixth Ranger. Okay?
Sixth Ranger, and it can't be Tommy,
It can't, no, I'm taking out the Zordon era again because that would be Tommy.
Yeah.
Bottom line. And, I don't know, I'm gonna let Dino Thunder stand. He wasn't technically the Sixth Ranger, though.
Yeah, because that would be actually the White Ranger.
But then there would be only one color left in the rainbow.
I know I'm gonna start.
So at that point, let me kind of give the guideline here. So Lost Galaxy had the Magna Defender. That would be a 6th Ranger. Then we had Lightspeed Rescue. That would be the Titanium Ranger. Let's see. And then after Lightspeed came Time Force, that would be the Quantum Ranger. And then the Lunar Wolf Ranger and Wild Force, so on and so forth. If they had, like, if the series started with 3 Rangers, then I'll let you expand into that, but please avoid Tommy.
Well, I'm gonna...
Let's not go for the easy answer here.
Well, yeah. I know this is technically Zordon era, but I'm not gonna cheat by saying Tommy. I'm gonna say the Silver Ranger from in
Ooh,
Space.
Zane.
Yeah, Zane.
Yeah.
I like Zane, but he had some kookier episodes.
And I like the Quantum Ranger too. So
Okay.
So tie for Silver Ranger and Quantum Ranger.
I can get that. I kind of liked the Quantum Rangers
Hey, we can
storyline.
finally open up winter.
Yay! Wait, we don't want to be cold. Okay, yeah, it's summer. We want to be cold.
Yes, and it's really hot in here. Turn down your furnace.
I try, and then she turns it back on. So why don't you go ahead and answer for which 6th Ranger you think is the best, Andrea? And no Tommy.
Well, I wasn't going to choose Tommy, but I do like Merrick, the Luna Wolf. I thought that was an interesting ranger.
Is that just because he's kind of a redeeming concept where he's looking for redemption?
Well, yes, and I really like the costume.
Thank you, Bear. Now I have to sleep.
It's alright.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't want to cut into that, but... So Merrick would be it? You don't have a tie or anything like that?
Or probably the one from Jungle Fury. Well, actually, not the Rhino Ranger, but the other one.
The Jackal, the Purple Ranger.
Yes.
Okay. Alright, obviously my Zordon era one would be Tommy, and I could easily, cop out and say Tommy from Dino Thunder. But I actually do think they've had some good ideas over the years. I love the Quantum Ranger. I love Anubis Doggy Kruger. I'm not big on the, what was it? The Chrono Ranger or whatever they try to do in SPD. Or the Omega Ranger. I'd have to think about this. Because I actually went through and watched all the 6 Rangers, and no, Operation Overdrive is not it. That whole Mercurial Ranger was stupid. I like the redemption story of Merrick. It's one of the better plots, in my opinion. He was a really good villain in Wild Force. I kind of wondered why Zanaku wasn't, brought back in some way. Kind of like the White Ranger was in Dino Thunder. But, let's see...
I think it was a tie between the Zanaku and the...
That nuts hasn't got enough acorns yet. Keep looking.
You need 5.
Yeah, I think it was a tie between Zanaku and the Psycho Rangers.
Yeah, they'd be really good villains. Actually, I'm going to pull this out of nowhere, because I do like the Quantum Ranger, but another honorable mention, I think, ought to be the Samurai Ranger from Ninja Storm. Because he's the only thing I like from that series!
Oh, you like,
Cam.
Cam.
That was freaking awesome, okay? That whole storyline and how he wanted to be a ranger and his dad prevented him to being, and then his mom gives him the samurai pendant. That was awesome. So I'll give that as an honorable mention, but, another honorable mention would be Tommy. Or Anubis Doggy Kruger.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything in there.
Oh, there's like a honeycomb in here.
I know there is.
Wait, what?
Alright, and we are actually going to go ahead and take a quick break. In the meantime, we will be right back with more Banjo Kazooie. We'll see you next time. Welcome back, everybody, to the Banjo, the Kazooie, and the Restless. Ding, ding, ding. Alright, so we are back. We are still in Clik Clok Wood, and we are in fall right now.
That's right.
So we're almost done, or do we actually have to loop around to spring again?
Yeah, we'll go back to spring.
Okay.
I still got to do the beehive. I still don't have nearly as many golden feathers as I would like.
Yes.
Just don't forget the Jinjo in this era.
Where is the Jinjo?
It's on one of the piles of leaves.
Okay.
Of course, because it's autumn. You have to play with the leaves. What part of that doesn't make sense?
Already. 'Cause
Oh, you got the one that's up on one of those hills?
I must have, because I have most of the Jinjos, so that would leave the one in winter.
Well, how many do you have?
Yay! And we gotta get that winter. Right, that's it! I'm off to the lava world! You'll never find me there! Oh, we'll see you in 2 years, Gabi.
To the lava world? I don't think you're going to find much water there, Gabi.
Yeah, technically we'll see him again.
Yeah, I got 4 of the 5 Jinjos.
Okay, then, you got it.
Alright, and while we're doing this, we're going to continue to wax nostalgic here, guys, because why not?
Because this is a nostalgic game.
It really is, but we've been talking about the Power Rangers reboot, and so this just makes us want to go back into favorite Power Rangers moments, things like that. In fact, that's actually a really good a good place to go, and I'm going to include the Zordon era here. Favorite Power Rangers moment for you? You can go Zordon era, you can go post, I don't care.
Okay.
But your favorite moment in the series, like the part that just made you go, yes!
Definitely. Okay, you probably see this coming, but definitely the Z-Wave.
See, I actually wouldn't count that. That actually...
That
The problem was as a fan that made me ask way too many questions.
Okay, yes, it opens a whole slew of plot holes.
Yes, it does.
But obviously, In Space was meant to be the last series, because they...
Yes, it was. And it was an epic way to finish out the series.
Yeah.
Now, do you want to have a post-Zordon era one, or...
Sure, let me think, what's great in the post-Zordon era? I am trying to really somewhat... come back to me on the post-Zordon era,
Okay.
I need to think that one through.
Go ahead and go, Andrea.
Well, I have a lot of favorites. And probably...
Okay, if you want, you can go into like a top 3. I'm not gonna let you go like a top 10.
No, I'm just trying to narrow it down. I would say it's a tie between either the wedding with Rita and Lord Zed.
Ooh, that was a good moment.
That was kind of an interesting plot I never would have expected to see.
I think I like reasserted Rita as a bad guy, because even she could manipulate the Emperor of Darkness.
I would say she was kind of really strange at first, but when she and Lord Zed actually teamed up, it became very interesting.
Well, they had more progress together than they ever did individually.
Yeah.
So.
And the other one is just the whole, pretty much the finale of, Lost in Space. Or, not Lost in Space.
The Z-Wave.
Lost in Space.
Lost in Space. Where we had a leery Zoran character always looking at the younger characters. Justin, get away! No, I'm kidding.
And as for the post-Zordon,
So you like the Z-Wave.
Oh, by the way, the snowmen are back.
Oh, wonderful. First try, Alex. Nice. All right.
Okay, so as I was saying...
Sorry.
You interrupt everybody.
No, that's fine. Let me think of a really good one. I would say probably... just some of the classic moments when the Psycho Rangers came back in later series,
Or even the introduction of the Psycho Rangers was pretty freaking
Yes,
epic.
that's right. Swim under there.
I mean, there's a lot of...
I see water takes double air.
Yeah, I totally did not mean to take the dive already.
But yet you did. You took the dive. You threw in the towel.
Okay.
All right, so we interrupted Andrea.
I'm sorry, but there's so much to say.
No, it's Grintilda. We have to have her mock us. This is a banjo game, after all. All right, go ahead.
Well, there's just so many different things, but I do like it when definitely, when Rangers from the past series, join up with the current ones, depending on which season it is.
So you like the collaboration events?
Those are really fun.
Wow, you must really want this if you swam in that freezing water.
Wow, for a second... No, freeze it right there. It almost makes him look like he's on fire. To which at that point I have to go for the NBA Jam reference. He's on fire! Alright.
And no, not the girl on fire.
No, he is not the girl on fire. He is not Lara Croft. So... At that point, for people who don't get that, you'll get that soon. Best moment for me, pre-Zordon Wave, or, sorry, before the Zordon Wave happened, I actually have to say, when the 6 Rangers came together and did that whole...
I know the whole thing.
The real cheesy monologue. 6
No!
working together!
I did not want to dive!
No!
Oh well.
See, Banjo and me couldn't agree on that. I like the first time that 6 Rangers come together and do that hammy dialogue. It was fun. So that was a really great moment for me, because especially since Tommy was redeemed in that moment, and he could make up for his evil deeds, even though they weren't his evil deeds. And also just the... I think this kind of goes in conjunction with it, was the reveal of the White Ranger. When, they had that whole event on Fox, who's the White Ranger? Everybody was guessing. And I only knew, one of my friends who was actually guessing they were going to bring Tommy back. And I'm like, nah, they're not going to bring Tommy back. They already showed that he can't have another Ranger's powers. And then they brought him back, and I'm like, yes. Because I wanted it, but I was like, how is the series going to explain it? But before then, I'm a sucker for hammy dialogue. I gotta say that my favorite Zordon era one would probably, and you're gonna laugh at me for this, but the whole speech that Zordon gave when the Zeo powers were given. Mm-hmm. I love that moment because...
Okay, one sec. Mama's on vacation, you hairy fool! Come back in spring! Okay.
So, I just love that whole concept, because the whole theme of that series was stronger than before, and that speech kind of encompassed the whole thing of what kids were supposed to expect from the series. Is that it was nothing more than they were stronger than before. Post-Zordon era...
What? Okay.
Hammiest moment I'd probably hand to the Mystic Mother, because you brought back Rita in a really weird fashion. But it would have to be, the plot line of having... Well, this, I guess, would be Zordon era, too. It would be the Psycho Rangers. I thought they were a really great villain. There are a lot of moments that I can point out where the series just got awesome. And so that's why I have trouble narrowing one down and even ranking them. So my answer is a non-answer. There's so many great moments, I can't narrow it down. Let's see here. And this actually goes into the next question that we could ask, which we do get asked, and I don't think we have ever been able to answer. Best series.
I read mighty eagle at last. Watch me as I fly into the sky.
Yes, there will be a Zordon era and a post-Zordon era.
I was gonna ask that.
Just farted that out.
Alright, so best series, both pre and post. You can do that. I'll allow it. I'll allow it! I'm Judge Mills Lane from Celebrity Deathmatch.
Okay. Post-Zordon era, Time Force, I'd say.
Okay.
As for the Zordon era, I still gotta give it to the old classic Mighty Morphin.
Okay, Andrea?
I would say, as for Zordon era, I have to go with In Space. Post, I would go with... That's a very hard one, but I guess I'm gonna have to go with possibly, probably Jungle Fury. But if it comes down to a tie between Operation Overdrive and probably Wild Force with the most interesting combinations of Zords.
Wow. Okay, so we are officially getting a controversy because she brought up 2 Kalish era. Oh man, it's her opinion, guys. That's just the bottom line of it. So Jungle Fury and Operation. Oh my gosh, those are like the most disputed.
Well, yes, they may be the most disputed, but they're the ones that have the most combinations of Zords that you could possibly imagine.
And that's what you like is combining Zords. Okay, so for me, Zordon era would be Zeo. I love Zeo. I love the plot of Zeo. And as much as I like In Space, Zeo was like, I was not a Power Rangers fan by 3rd season. I was not watching it at all.
Stupid ass sliding physics.
But Zeo brought me back. And brought me back in full force, except when Kimberly Dear John Tommy. I thought that was absolutely dickish. But that was me. Post-Zordon era would probably have to go with SPD. And the reason I would have to go with it is it kind of is Zeo post-Zordon. You know, you have this band of misfits, and they come together, and they eventually become better than the team they were idolizing at the beginning of the series. And also, I love the fact that we actually had, in that series, Rangers becoming evil. Like, and not because of mind control or whatever. They became evil of their own will.
Right.
That was a cool concept.
That is, actually, yeah.
So at that point, I would have to hand it over to SPD. They thought outside the box. And yes, I know, guys, that's a Kalish era one too, but I don't think Bruce Kalish had a lot to do with SPD. I think it was still very much up in the air, his involvement. And if Bruce Kalish did it, hats off to you. I'll stop making fun of you because you did SPD. I don't like Mystic Force, and I don't like the stuff that came after, but I like SPD. Now, I'm actually going to bring out an old question, because we've answered this, Alex, but we have a third person here.
Right.
But I'm also going to make us answer it again. So, when we did the Power Rangers LP back in February, we got asked, you know, since we're guys, who our favorite female cast member was, and probably the one that we crushed on. Mm-hmm. Okay? So, I can't remember your answer. I know my answer, and I'll let you go Zordon era and post if you want to do that.
Okay.
That's up to you. And then, Andrea, you have to think of the guy you crushed on in those series. Like, your favorite guy character. Alright, so starting with me, I guess. My Zordon era would be Kimberly. I crushed on her as a kid. She was fun for me. Although, it's funny because as an adult now, I find myself crushing on Trini a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it would be Kimberly. Post-Zordon era, there's not really too many memorable ones. If anything, I'd probably go with Jen from Time Force. I thought she was a really good character there.
Yeah.
I actually think she should have been the Red Ranger, in all honesty. She was that much like Jason as far as a character design. But that's my answer, so whichever one of you wants to go next.
Yeah, probably Jen for me, too.
Okay. So that would be just that one? Or...
Yeah, just that one.
You like Jen. Okay. So, Andrea?
I'm about out of red feathers.
Your favorite guy character. You can go Zordon era and post. I don't care.
Well, I'm surprised that you guys would probably think that I would choose Tommy, but no, not this time.
No, that's you.
What, were you expecting me to say Tommy?
Actually, yes.
Actually, a little bit. That's the thing, is that when a lot of people go your favorite character, for guys, it's Kimberly, or favorite female character, and then for girls, it's usually Tommy.